Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's go. Whoops, Z9 Games, welcome. Appreciate ya. Cool. Yeah, I'm doing a horror sculpt. I'm gonna be working on the head today. Been working on everything else in the days past. And Z9 Games, if you're a game dev, let me know and we can collab. Live Studio is failing me right now, man. Come on, yeah, it's working. Alright, we good. Cool, welcome everybody popping in. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we're live on YouTube too, we good. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna start out. I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab this brush. I'm gonna make a new document. I'm not gonna save the changes to the document because I didn't make any changes, and the document is just like literally what we can see in front of us, so it's not the models itself, so I don't really care. I'm gonna change this simple brush to a sphere, and then we're gonna get going, sculpting a head. This is gonna be for a 3D model. This isn't actually gonna be for a video game or animation, which means I don't need to worry about the technical specs, and I'm also not going to sculpt like a closed mouth and then like boolean out the mouth and do teeth and all that. I'm just gonna sculpt everything to pose. I already fucked up this document. But yeah, I'll just start with a sphere, hit edit, and now we can get to sculpting. The reason I said all that stuff about the technical stuff is because a lot of the time I would like mask out a quadrant and like rotate it out to get started, and that would be my jawline. Oh, whoops, reverse that mask. So like, that's kind of how I would start. But instead today I'm just gonna like pull it down and start sculpting. I'm gonna grab my move brush. Say my full name. I don't know why everybody banning me. Please. Your name is Sam Hitler, and that is childish. I think that's why people are banning you. I wonder, why would the Hitler name be disgraced? Could it be the systemic murder of an ethnic minority? Or several, actually. Alright, I'm gonna grab my move brush. God, the internet's a crazy place. I call myself Hitler, why won't anybody say my name? I wonder. Make Polymesh 3D. And just on the record, I have no tolerance for Nazis. So Sam Hitler, if you're offended, I don't care. I don't care. I think you're dumb. I think your name is dumb. This is an anti-Nazi channel. I'm just gonna be on the record. Fuck fascists, period. Point blank, period. I got room for everybody in my community except for that. And that's a fact. What up, Carter? What up, Not Bobber? What up, Demi Demon? Colon. I'm just sculpting a face in ZBrush. I could probably use a slice curve. Alright, I'm gonna... I don't know English. Ah, you're from Russia. Hey, man. That's cool. We love Russia. I appreciate you joining in. I don't know Russian. Bummer. I wish I could communicate to you. But thanks for watching the stream anyways at Z9 Games. We're doing some ZBrush modeling. So let's see, eyes will be like halfway down, and I'm gonna just start sculpting this out with my clay brush. I'm gonna try to keep this all pretty loose and fun today. I don't wanna get like really technical with this sculpt because again, I think I'm gonna need more jaw. I think I'm just gonna sculpt everything to model, so let me look at myself. Yeah, I got quite a bit of head. What up, Kaiden? Teeth. Mouth is gonna be open too. So this is gonna have to be really long to accommodate all that. And I'm going to, I'll probably just mask out the nose now. Whoops. Hit control, let me see here. Grab my mask pen. Yeah. Joel, Jacob, welcome. Appreciate y'all joining. You got any questions about game dev, animation, anything like that? Let me know. Let me actually see. It's like a whole nother eye, man. I'm just gonna mask this shit out. I'm gonna reverse my mask, grab my handle, and rotate out the nose. And that's maybe about the size of my nose. I'll probably have to Z-remesh all this pretty soon, because you can see how much I just messed up that geometry. I also, like, that jaw is obviously not very good right now. Let me make my brush huge, start ripping this down. Cheeseburger Louie 803, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm just modeling a scary scene. Right now I'm doing the head. I might have flattened it a little bit too much earlier. I don't know, I actually need to pull everything out, give myself a little bit more room. Nose, more up here. Using myself as a reference, that's why I keep making all these crazy faces in the camera. Yeah, from the bottom of the nose, it's gonna be like 2 more whole noses with this open mouth. So, and I was saying at the beginning of the stream, but anybody just joining in, I am modeling this to pose. This is not going to be rigged and animated. So that's why I'm jerking this jaw way down. If I was doing a character that I was actually going to use in a game or an animation, the mouth would start out closed and then we would rig it to animate it to get it in the crazy poses. But instead, I'm just animating or sculpting everything to pose. Let me add some subdivs. What up, the real Damien Hurley? Just doing some modeling, some sculpting, some game dev. Let me know if you got any questions about anything I'm doing. I'm gonna start sculpting out the mouth cavity, and it's gonna be narrowest up top. Let me see. Yeah, not a whole lot of space in between the nose and the lips. I'll maybe need a little bit more than that. I can build that back up. I am using myself as a reference. That's why I keep making crazy faces at the mirror. Cool. And this would actually all be more back like that, the way the jaw rotates out. This is actually everything I've ever done up to now has been sculpting for games and animation. So doing this workflow where I'm just sculpting to pose and not planning on rigging it is like pretty interesting. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to not have to like really worry about all the technical BS, just as long as I don't have any overlapping geometry. I'm cool. So let me, you know what, this is starting to get a little bit hard to work with because the geometry is so messed up. So I'm gonna Z-remesh this and then add some subdivisions. I'll start by just Z-remeshing it in half. Getting our quad flow back. What's up, bro? Paul's Edits. Just doing some game dev. Doing some 3D modeling. This actually isn't for a game. This is for a 3D model. It's gonna get printed. This big, scary sculpt I've been working on for weeks. Paul's Edits, if you have any questions, man, comments, concerns, let me know. anything about game dev or animation or anything I got going on, please let me know. I actually probably should get this to be lower poly since I took the time to ZBrush, and then I can start sculpting it back up again. Like, so even though that jaw opens, it kind of all should taper towards the bottom still. Yeah, it's starting to come together a little bit. It's starting to look like a scared face. I kind of wonder, I don't know if I'm even gonna do eyeballs. I wonder if I could get away. No, actually it'll probably be easier to pop some spheres in there. But I kind of want, I don't know how much I want the eyes exposed, because the scream is gonna be like really extreme. And so, like the cheeks are gonna be kind of pushing the eyes shut. So what I might do, nah, we'll give him eyeballs. We'll give him eyeballs eventually. Nick Googler, hello, hello. Just doing some 3D modeling, some game dev. My mouth needs to be even wider. Pull down and out. I'm gonna keep hollowing this out a little bit. I don't want to make this mouth cavity too deep, because this is all going to be 3D printed, and I don't want to have to like try to cut out a bunch of weird supports out of the mouth later, but I want it to go back in there a little bit, so I actually at least have some room to give it teeth and stuff like that. I might have to Z-remesh this again soon. Get myself, or actually I can just add some subdivisions to make it a little bit easier to work with. Top lips hang over the bottom lips. I'm gonna go back to low subdiv. Let's see. Strip Club Kings. See how long you stick around and watch me sculpt. Not very. Doesn't seem like the type of show for an account called Strip Club Kings. Not really the vibe we got going on here. Alright, let me check out my base. Yeah, I'm just gonna inflate everything down here so I have a little bit more room to work. Smooth it too. Maybe pull this down too a little bit more. Make my brush quite a bit bigger. What's up, Owen 5? Just doing some 3D sculpting. Some game dev shenanigans. Let's see here. It's gonna be kind of have a horseshoe shape a little bit. Back of the head obviously is not flat like that. Fix that. Sweet. Cool. I don't think that's scared enough yet. I think like that mouth needs to be open even wider. He's really screaming. Ah! Help! I'll probably periodically go back to the main sculpt too, so y'all can see, especially if I get people sticking around for a long time. We'll be able to see what we're working towards. Big picture. Ah, so scared. Alright, let me take a look at my nose. Yeah, I think I might end up opening up another file where I already have some teeth to stick them in there, or maybe I'll show y'all how I model teeth. We'll see what happens. It's kind of nice, kind of time saving to use teeth I already have, but it's good practice to model teeth too. Nah, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make like a little horseshoe for the teeth, and then I'm gonna kind of carve out the lines in between the teeth, and instead of actually sculpting each tooth one at a time, or like really looking at dentures, actually I will have to look at some dentures, I'll need reference. Halls, hello, thank you for sticking around. Let me know if you have any questions, animation, game dev, anything else. I'm just in here sculpting, I'll be chilling for a while. Appreciate you popping by, watching the stream. Alright, Moe's. Hoo-yah! Welcome. Oh, they out. Sometimes I think I scare people away when I say their name. Let me see. Alright. This actually, I think this upper lip needs to be even closer to the nose. And we're gonna see really a lot of teeth. We're gonna see teeth and some of the gum line. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this is turned on. It is. I'm gonna actually, before I do anything else, so I don't lose my mind when this inevitably crashes, I'm gonna save this head. I can't use it as a base mesh. I have a little folder where I put all my like assets that I can reuse later, but I don't really think this is one of those. And if I do end up wanting it, I can just track it down to where I do decide to save it. So all that's to say, it's not going in the old ZBrush library. Instead, I'm gonna put it. I'll move this so people just joining can see that I'm actually working on something pretty interesting. I'm gonna put this with everything else I got going on, and after I save, I'll get back to sculpting, because I know this is probably pretty boring to watch. Internship, sculpt. We'll just call this priest face block out. And we're building this for our really scary scene that I've got going on. Looks like we got a couple people joining, sticking around, so I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what I'm actually working towards. Show you the main sculpt. We got this really scary horror movie, sort of like Conjuring, nun-inspired, scary sculpt. That's gonna be 3D printed into a nice little model. But for now, I'm working, you can see our scared victim is headless. So right now I'm building him a head. Building him a head, and I am just pre-sculpting everything to pose. I'm not gonna rig anything later. It's not gonna be used in a video game. I'm not even like worried about topology or anything like that. I just have to have a nice looking sculpt with no intersecting geometry, and that'll be printable. That'll be great. I'm gonna go ahead and just hollow this out a little bit more, and then I'll actually finally get working on those teeth. So I'm gonna Alt-A, hit insert, bring in a cube, and these are gonna be my teeth. So let's go ahead, printable, that'll be great. None of these are bending the way I